My brothers and my sisters, I would like to wrap up our series of rebuilding the Ummah. It's theory, hoping maybe us, maybe another generation that will be better than us, hopefully, will do the actual work. You saw the fires now in Jasper. You should pray for those people who have lost their homes, their livelihood. Fires ravaging the west of Canada. They can't breathe proper air, and God knows none of us is safe from such calamities. A week ago, you saw, and I know people in our community, that we had to dispatch some volunteers to go and help. They had flooded basements here in Toronto and GTA. Elderly people, this is all their savings, this is all their memories, this is all what they have in this world, ravaged by the flood. We're very vulnerable. And God forbid, earthquakes are reality. Tsunamis are reality. So once in a while, we may have to build from scratch or rebuild. So the concept of rebuilding extends not only is restricted to actual buildings, but it extends to us as human beings. Once in a while, we have to rebuild our health. We have to rebuild our education. We have to rebuild our muscles. We have to rebuild many things. Everything is up for rebuilding. And we have dealt in the last few series with an inspector who uses the laws of nature and the laws of the Qur'an and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to tell you what is in compliance and what is not. And he told us the foundation was good, alhamdulillah. He inspected and came back, said, don't worry about the foundation. However, the pillars need to be rebuilt. So he checked many pillars and we covered the pillars. Now we'll go to some pillars that are essentials. They're not as important as the pillars that we mentioned, but now we're getting into few pillars, we'll discuss them today, that need to be repaired, and we have to be conscious. I'm using metaphor so we can build an image in our mind, and we are conscious of each and every pillar. The pillar we said of love, the pillar of love among ourselves, the pillar of loving and knowing how to love. You know, a man told me, really, he made me cry. He said, you know what, I was harsh with my children when they were young. But I did it because I loved them. I did not hug them and kiss them. I regret that, but I don't know. You can't give what you don't have. فَقِدُ الشَّيْءِ لَا يُعْطِيهِ, we say in Arabic. He said, I didn't see my mother. I never saw my mother. I don't remember her. She died when I was 6 months. And my father worked hard to raise us. He worked the field. And he said, I don't remember anybody hugging me or kissing me. And when I was hungry, I would knock the doors of the neighbors if they can give me some food. And when my father knew about it, he beat me bad. He says, we don't beg, we work. He said, take the food from home and ask people to cook for you when I'm gone. That's the reality. He said, nobody hugged me or kissed me. I don't know love. Since I was a child, the kids bully us in the street. The teachers beat us like we're their enemies. And their parents, they didn't know the word motivation for them. Al-asa liman ya'sa, stick for the one who doesn't stick. This is how situation. So some people really did not experience love. They're traumatized. And if we don't, we, the community members who are supposedly to be brothers and sisters, if we don't give love to each other, then what do you expect? Society is love deficit. That's why people are in all kind of mental health problems. Let me make a statement. We live next to each other, but we don't live with each other. Remember my words. We live next to each other. Even in your home, you may be living next to your wife or your husband, next to your children, but you're not living with each other. This is the sad reality that many of us have. Husband and wife is the reality. They share children. There is no life between them. If there is no life, there is no love. What is love in my book? Love is when you feel the other person connects you to life. When you see them, you want to live, not you want to die. Or commit suicide, which is haram, of course. You know, this is the reality. That's why there is divorce, which is the exit. In the other religions, divorce was not allowed. In many religions, Islam says no. If you tried and tried and tried, and it's not going to work, there is no, you need that bond. That's the reality. That's where that bond is established from day one. What is our bond? Yes, Islam is a bond, but also, are we at the same of level? Are our aspirations, are they the same? Do we see things from the same lens? Okay, we see them from different lenses. Are we able to put the two lenses together? Or are we going to fight? These are very important, but that's not our topic, although that pillar of love is important. Then we went to the pillar of equity and equality and justice and many other pillars. Now we are going to focus on how can we live with each other, not next to each other. I want you to take a moment, think of your own home and the people in your home. Do you live with them or next to them? Unfortunately, the reality, after 30 years of marriage and family counseling, I can tell you majority of people live next to each other, not with each other. The break and schism is very, very apparent, not hidden. So, how can we live with each other? And this is called the pillar of healthy relationships. Number one, minimum in any relationship, it is called respect. In Arabic, we call it ihtiram. Ihtiram. Respect is the minimum requirement in any relationship between two human beings, even if that relationship lasts 5 seconds. You hold the door for an elderly person. Why? Respect. Islam teaches us to respect our elderly. Not only our parents, our elderly. In today's society, I don't want to say zero respect, but there is no respect, no haya. That's a different topic. Why the word ihtiram? Ihtiram, it's a very funny. Arabic is not like other languages. When you hear anything with this mold, ifti'al, it requires a society, community to do it. Ihtiram means engaging all together in an act of establishing hurma. Arabic hurma, Urdu hurmat, meaning sanctity. Started from sanctity of life, to privacy, to people's opinions. You learn to establish sanctity. Look at people, how they talk these days. Zero sanctity. Bad language. It has gone now. You see it on television. Even leaders and politicians are talking. Our children, transformers, outside in the street, they speak a language. They condition themselves when they go home to change the language. That's why we're going to have double personality. I am Joe something, and I am Michael something, and then when I go home, I am Omar and Muhammad. You are changing It's very, very important to keep the same personality inside and outside. Otherwise, you will suffer later. This is how you get schizophrenia. I see a psychiatrist right there. He can correct me later. Am I right or right, doctor? Thank you. You see, because you train your mind to change your thoughts and your language. It's very dangerous. We want our children who are Muslim at home to be outside Muslim. Okay? And this is where people are suffering. Islamophobia is too much. Now with what happened, I heard this morning in the Olympics, it's going to just increase Islamophobia. I don't have the details much, but I heard something bad happening this today, which is sad. So, establishing sanctity, number one, each and every one of us. Because we are Muslim? No, because we are human beings. If we are supposed to respect, Islam says, by the way, you won't find this in any other religion, you don't throw food to the dog or cat. You can't do that. If Prophet Muhammad was next to you, he would frown at you. This is not right. Even cats and dogs, you should put it respectfully to them to feed them. But how many people apply that? If you treat animals with respect, you will definitely treat children and elderly with respect. We don't throw the food to animals. We call them, put the food on the floor so they can eat. Even animals, they don't want the food to be thrown at them. You give any human being, say you want food, throw it to them. Would they eat it? 99% of the people would not take it. Why? People's dignity is very important. Respect. So, it comes from, just remember, ihtiram comes from hurma. Hurma means sanctity. Like the hurma of the Kaaba. Each and every one of us should see hurma. What is hurma? The Prophet ﷺ says, Hurmatul mu'mini a'zamu inda Allahi min hurmatil Kaaba. وفي رواية من السماوات السبع. The sanctity of a believer is much higher in the eyes of Allah than the Kaaba that you call Holy Kaaba. In another narration, than the 7 heavens. So can you imagine the one sitting next to you? In the eyes of Allah, worth more than the 7 heavens? Do we treat each other based on that? And the sanctity of blood, regardless, innocent blood. ألا ترجعوا بعد كفارا يضرب بعضكم رقاب بعض. Don't become disbelievers. In another narration, wrongdoers, fujara, killing each other. Look at the killing. Yesterday, last night after Isha, after an incident, I warned the youth in the community from what's happening, especially here where we live, Peel region. I'm not talking about Toronto. And the amount of weapons and guns that our police here in Peel has seized. Unbelievable. We used to think this happens only in Chicago and New York and LA. It's here. And you know what? I'm going to talk quietly so nobody hears me. A lot of Muslim names. And you know the scary thing? 14, 15, sometimes 13 years old. Brother and sister, the family that spoke to me, practicing Muslim, they work day and night. They are doing their best. They are like me and you. But their children are transformers. You know transformers? You're in one shape, and then you became another shape. They are nice at home. They go outside, affiliated with gangs. And these gangs are putting them under duress. According to them, nobody can put you in duress. There is still law and order. And abusing them and forcing them to engage in illegal activities. In addition, recent immigrants who have come and there is no job, the quote-unquote Canadian dream doesn't exist. So they are stealing cars. Home invasion couple of days ago, the man and woman were sleeping and the gangsters came. They tried to take the Beamer. They broke the windshield. They couldn't. This was not in their technology gadgets that opens up the doors. They got so frustrated because remember, they're only 14, 15 teenagers. They're children, but they're 6-footers. Sometimes 6'6". Huge guys. And then they got frustrated. They broke into the home, woke the man and the woman. People are being awakened right here, not even 2 kilometers away from here, in this city. This is real guns. You can buy a gun like that in some streets right here, anywhere in GTA, and very cheap. Society. I told you many times Mad Max is coming. It looks like he's coming. So, when we don't teach the values of respect and being genuine and authentic, as you are here, you are there, we are very worried about people saying Allahu Akbar, I am Muslim, and then doing crime. And when they're arrested, they say, this is discrimination. Allahu Akbar. Don't you mention the word Allahu Akbar. Keep Allahu Akbar out of your crime and gang activities. This is what I am very worried personally. That's why I gave that speech last night. I'll leave it there. After respect comes communication. If you ask any real estate agent, and I'm sure that we have a few here, what did you say the most today? He will tell you, I said to my clients, location, location, location. And I am telling you, communication, communication, communication. If you cannot listen, then you cannot have good communication. Listening more than talking. Like I always say, Allah gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can listen more. I have noticed the children, they don't listen. They have to talk. They don't let you finish sentence. There is a country I used to go to, and no offense, I'm not going to mention that country. I used to go to every time they give a lecture. Something, the people very generous, nice, beautiful, the best. But one thing they have, in the middle of your speech, they interrupt you. Now it has been 7 years, I don't go there. I go, but I do not give a speech. As soon as you say, you're not even finishing the ayah from the Qur'an or the Hadith, they interrupt you. I said, brothers, I will not speak as long as I live in this country. You have a bad habit. You don't listen. You're jumping. Maybe you're, mashallah, very intelligent. You know what I'm going to talk about. But learn the adab. The Prophet ﷺ did not like the man who came and said, Mata sa'a. He was in the middle of his speech and he said, when is the end of times? When is the hour? Prophet ﷺ did not answer him. Sahaba said, wow, the Prophet ﷺ, who usually responds, ignored this person. But he wanted to teach him a lesson. When he finished his speech, he said, where is the one who is asking about Sa'ah, about the end times? And then the man said, it's me. He didn't corrected him subliminally. He said, إِذَا وُسِدَ الْأَمْرُ إِلَى غَيْرِ أَهْلِهِ فَانْتَظِرِ السَّاعَةِ. When the matters of people are given to those who don't deserve to be in charge of them, then wait for the end of times. That's one of the signs. But the idea, he's teaching us to let people speak finish. Take notes. Take notes. You have phones. You have pens. But that happens also between husbands and wives. Hold on to your seats. 65 to 70% of divorces we have are only because of communication. Men don't listen in general. Women don't say everything in general. So men need to improve their listening abilities. And women need to express more what bothers them and their feelings. This way, Joe and Jennifer can have a better marriage. Or Muhammad and Fatima can actually communicate well. You understand what I'm saying? Communication, we have bad communication. We hear something, rumors, we spread it. Did you know, many times they do this to imams. You see it on the internet. He said a sentence, but he was saying, for instance, so-and-so said this, and he quotes him, and then he would say, which is wrong in Islam. So they just quote that part. He say, look, and some Muslims jump and make this. We're very good at, raising our sticks on others. This is the problem. Communication means also ascertaining the truth. Find out or keep quiet. It is better to keep quiet. Who goes to Jannah? Mostly those who keep quiet. Not for speaking up against injustice. Keep quiet when it comes to relationship or people's defects or mistakes. You keep quiet. Say Allahu A'lam. So that's number 2. Open, honest, and empathetic communication is crucial amongst us. Always listen actively to what others are saying. That's why I stopped giving speech in that specific country. They never let you finish a sentence. I swear by Allah, I would never, as long as I live, give a speech there. I decided. If not, I'll have to fast 3 days and give sadaqah. They don't let you finish sentence. Even when you say, and the Prophet ﷺ said date, they're nice people, but they don't have communication skills. And that's why in that country, they have so many problems. They don't listen to each other. And Islam says, وَأَنصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. Listen if you want the mercy of Allah. Umar ibn Khattab did not like to listen to people. The day he listened to his sister and her husband, he became Muslim. What did he say later? It was listening that brought me to Islam. Because he listened. The ability to listen, and not only listen to the words, listen to the voice expressing those words. Maybe the voice is sad. Maybe the voice is desperate. Maybe the voice is ambitious. Maybe the voice is lonely. Listen. There is a difference between hearing each other and listening to each other. And sadly, we do not listen to each other. And if we do that, and if we communicate well, you know what will happen? We will trust each other. And the best thing in any relationship, including parents, children, marriage relationship, is trust. I say to people, couples come, we're going to get married. Have you built a level of trust? They say, not really. I say, don't get married. Wallahi, your marriage is doomed to failure. Trust is more important than love. I know you guys like to talk pyar and love. Trust me. Trust, i'timad, is far more important than love. Because love is empty without these values. Trust is not an emotion. It's a conviction. It's a belief. If you don't trust, you're finished. Trust is everything. Like the pillar of this building right there in front of me. If I remove it, would you stay in this room? You should run away. It's just a matter of fractions of seconds. It will collapse. Trust is very important to be established. So what did Rasulullah SAW and the companions build in Medina? They trusted each other. That's why they could change the world. When you trust, you will have peace. Trust means to be reliable, keep your promises, show that you respect others and respect others' feelings, boundaries. This is very important to establish peace amongst ourselves. We say Islam is peace, but the world, where do they look when they want to know about Islam is peace? They're going to look at Muslim communities, Muslim families, and Muslim countries. If they see otherwise, they say, You're just making statement. Oh, that was 1500 years ago. Hello, I'm living here, not 1500 years ago. You know, very important. Simple things. Simple. You know, I don't like pranks. It's not right. There is a video, and they were pranking, you know, somebody hiding behind a tree and then comes out moving tree. So these are social experiments. And the people, when they realize, oh, they get shocked and then laugh. And then a sister was coming. Ya Allah. She was spitting at him. And she took her shoes and beat him and this. And everybody says, and you know, one non-Muslim said, they speak, this is very peaceful. This is the peace they talk about. They are watching us even during pranks. They're going to provoke. This is very important. Whether we emit, whether we show peace or show anger. So we have to be more peaceful. We have to support each other, as the Qur'an says, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Help one another in all that is righteousness and God consciousness. وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. And don't help each other in sinning and rancor and doing wrong. That's how believers do. Support each other. People in the street, there is so much homelessness. If you go at night here in the GTA, in Toronto, so many people, they said we were like you in our offices. We had life, we had families, marriages, all gone. You know, we need just someone to support us, to come back. So many, as economy is not looking good, we're gonna have to be prone to support each other, starting from home to our community, to the community at large. Cooperation is key in the Quran. 5, spend quality time. Most of us spend leftover time with each other. That's why we can't live with each other. We only live next to each other. We come home tired. Our battery, if we were to measure, it's at 2-3%. We don't talk nice. We don't express our feeling nice. We don't cheer or show joy in everything is 3%, 3%, 3%. We choose the leftover time for our loved ones and our friends. And this is the reason why the relationships are not doing good. Quality time means when your battery is full. When you're not looking at the phone, spend quality time together, engaging in activities that everybody can enjoy. I may not like cricket, you know, but he likes cricket. I'll go with him. Because I like horseback riding, he'll come with me that day. If not riding, he can take photos. This is measured. Some people love each other, they're friends, but their interests are different. I don't like golf. You know, my buddy here loves golf. He's on the court every week. Yeah, I don't like golf. He doesn't like horseback riding. He doesn't like martial arts. We have but we support each other. The reality is, you want to build a relationship, you can make it work. Don't say, oh, they don't. So this is with your own children, with your own siblings, with your own neighbors, with your own friends. Appreciate, show gratitude and appreciation for people. It's nice to say thank you, not Some people, what is this Very bad habit. I don't like people say what's Thank you very much. Jazakallahu khairan. ما لا يشكر الله من لا يشكر الناس. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says he is not thankful to Allah, the one who does not thank people. And grow with each other. And if there is conflict, be, as we say in Arabic, al-khayt al-abyad, be the person who enters to bring each other to what is right. And the Quran says if one is wrong, go with the one in the right until the wrong becomes right. And وَأَصْلِحُوا إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. Don't let shaitan split the believers. When you know shaitan is causing fitna between two, husband and wife, siblings, neighbors, you jump in. You're the firefighter. You're anti-shaitan. You're the antidote for the work of shaitan. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For the last one is patience and perseverance. As Allah says in the Qur'an, only the believers who have patience, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, will be the ones who will win, not losers. Except wal-asr, by the time all humanity is at loss, except those who believe, work righteousness, and act patiently, and stick to the truth, and tell others to act patiently and stick to the truth. These are the pillars. If we establish them, inshallah, we can rebuild the ummah on a strong foundation. May Allah enable us to do that or some of that, and may Allah make next generation much stronger, much into their belief and their deen and service of humanity. Ameen. Istaghfiruh. Innahu huwa al-ghafurur rahim.